questions.
Maybe you can sit and we'll start to direct you the questions. Okay.
I see you raise your hand. Is it right? The most active participant. The person who counts money, because all of us we count money.
I would like to ask you, in previous years, you have some discount for the fees for us. As I tell you, we are still developing countries, the Central Asia countries. And do you have planning any discounts for the fees in the future?
I think now the microphone works. Thank you very much for your question. The discounts we provided in previous years was actually based on the access funds we received and we redistributed to our members. So technically, we never really gave a discount to any country. But I do think this is something we should take on in the Charging Scheme Task Force 2024, that this could be a principle to provide discounts for countries who could, who we could support that way.
It is like yes, but no, or no, but yes, something like this. It is good.
Да, хорошо. Ага, another question.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. You mentioned about like having members with not having like not the big members, the large operators. My question is that how do you make sure that you protect the interests of like small operators? Because they have peculiarities, maybe geopolitical or maybe like financial resources or other resources.
Well, I can only speak financially. One thing that I really appreciate of the current system we have, one LAR. I can only answer that question from a financial point of view. The current system we have, of course, is one LAR account, one fee, in which we, can easily ensure that all members have equal votes, as in a small or a just starting LAR has the same vote as a major telecom operator. We will do everything we can to keep it that way.
Can you please speak louder?
Even louder?
Yeah.
Is this better? Okay. More stricter. Thank you, Vaughn. So just to repeat, currently we have a one LAR, one fee system, which helps us ensure that every LAR has one vote, so equal say. We will do everything we can to ensure that remains the same, because that is very important to the RIPE NCC. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Who would like to ask a question, please? Somebody. And there is a hand. I come to you, please. Yes, you raise your hand, I saw.
That was a mistake, Alex. I just correct my hair, unfortunately.
Okay. Another question. Another question? One moment, Simonian.
Of course.
Roman? He says that, yeah, actually, he's a bit shy, but he says that everything is okay with the financial scheme. Yeah, he's happy.
Thank you.
Да. Да, yes.
Спасибо.
Вот, процесс пошел.
I would like to to tell hello to everybody. Representative for financial part. Do you have any reporting publicly available? Maybe it is placed on some resources. This annual report do you place on the website, which is publicly available, that we can see the growth rate on financial indicators, that everybody can. We have translated already.
There.
Yes, all our financial reports are publicly available on our website. So simply search for financial reports and you can see the full history of all the financial and annual reports on our website.
Он на веб-сайте есть, получается, да.
And just to add on to that, during the general meeting where all members are welcome, I will provide a financial update to our members.
I have additional question.
I suppose, and this report is written in English language, or which language we can read this report, in which language?
Is it English?
It is indeed in English, but I'll contact Hisham to see if there's anything we can do to publish it in multiple languages. Difficulty, of course, is that the financial report specifically is audited by audit firms. So it could be a bit of an issue if we translate the reports. Maybe that would require our auditors to reissue their accounting statement. But I'll definitely discuss internally if we can provide anything like that.
Остальные тоже должны. Первый прям.
Нет вопросов.
Девушка? Благодарите. По-русски. По-русски.
If there are no questions from the audience.
We have the question from another part of Yes, there is a question.
I mean, if you can answer, if it's the information that you can disclose, what's the annual revenue? And what are the annual expenditures amount?
Our budget for 2024, our revenue budget was, off the top of my head, 38 million euros. And for 2024, we had a cost budget of 38.2 million. Looking at 2023, specifically on income, I do expect we will be under budget. And that is because of the earlier described ultra high risk situation and a bit less new applications from new LERs in 2024.
Good question. It was a good question. Good question.
Yeah, the figures were unexpected. So thank you for the information.
We have another question.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. NCC promotes peering in. I mean, today you promote peering in Central Asia. Now, what's the benefit for NCC? I mean, do you make money out of it, or what?
No, we do not make money out of all our efforts. We are very important for the RIPE NCC is that we are a non-profit. So our goal is totally to make sure our full service region is included, and wherever we can, we try and help to develop peering and all internet related issues. So we definitely do not have a profit angle, so we do not make any money. Any access funds that we do receive, we submit for the general meeting for a vote, and that usually that means the money will be returned on next year's invoice.
Let me just specify the reason why I ask. I mean, then why? Why do you do this? I mean, I can imagine a meeting of local network operators that would sit together and discuss their peering arrangements. Now, why do you engage into this? Let me understand your interest.
The interest from the RIPE NCC, then I hope you imagine. Well, our interest is to help all our members to engage and to learn and to do what we can to help develop. And that's really all our interest. We're here for our members, and we really try to help all the development there.
Thank you.
Спасибо большое.
Of course, fun.
I can help from here as well. Да, вопрос в чем?
Now, I understand the point of the question. Simon Jan has just described the mechanism, the financial mechanism of the organization. And now somebody from the audience asked why. I mean, why we promote peering and interconnection in centralization. Now, I can explain why. Because we are interested in promoting peering and internet connection everywhere. I mean, it helps people. It makes people's life easier. It creates income generating opportunities for people, and it promotes the use of internet. So it creates opportunities for us, for you, and for everyone else. Now, it's also a reason and the answer why we organize and provide trainings, because we want you to build your capacity, to build your network, and save money and make more money. So we are pretty selfish. And our interest is to make you better off so that you make us better off and everyone else better off.
Am I right?
I couldn't have said it better, especially not in Russian. No, but I also want to add to that. I think as a Dutch association, one of the core elements is to support its members. So that's completely in line with what Vahan just explained. We really are there for our members to act in the interest of all our members. And of course, we do have 20,000, so there are a lot of interests, but that really is our core meaning of being a Dutch association.
Thank you very much. Let me offer my comments. I represent ICANN. It's a not-for-profit organization that deals with a different part of internet. Even though we are partner organizations and we have a similar structure. At some point in the history of internet development, the idea for internet development was to promote interconnection and to promote equity. So these are some of the core values of internet. And to promote these core values of internet, you need an organization that would manage and administer this universal space, including domain names, protocols, other things. So it is one of the RIPE NCC goals. So asking RIPE NCC what you do and why you do this is like asking firefighters why do you go and fight fires? It's not because they really want to fight fires, but it's their mission and it's their duty. Thank you very much, Misha. Let me add another comment. Quite few of you are familiar with RIPE NCC. Or does anybody know what NCC stands for? Somebody in the back? Pretty sure most of you are not aware. NCC means Network Coordination Center. In addition to supporting and promoting our members, the RIPE NCC makes an effort to coordinate networks in this region of the world. So the organization deals with legal issues, policy, and that's why we have partnership organizations such as ISOC and ICANN. And the main goal is to help you overcome barriers or remove barriers for internet development. We also collaborate with other brotherhood and sistership organizations. So the title of the organization is RIPE NCC because it coordinates networks per se. So if you have any questions, if you have any initiatives that you think we can support, I mean, not only financially, but through our expertise, we indeed are prepared to offer our help. Does anybody know that RIPE NCC acts as the secretariat for the RIPE community? Does anybody know that? Except Misha, perhaps. Yeah, I see people in the back. And this is the duty that we fulfill. And that is to think about universal development in the interest of the RIPE community. All right. Somebody else? I understand that you act as a global alliance of providers, operators in the interests of network development and promotion.
Yes, yeah, we do. I mean, I think that also, well, a bit unrelated, but there's a reason I work for the RIPE NCC for 22 years already, because I just love the idea of connecting people, helping people where necessary, and just bringing people together to become more professional and develop and get more chances. So thank you.
He was nodding.
I saw it as well.
I also saw that. That is right. take it to him. Вот вопрос. Yes, we have another question. But you remember, he didn't want to make it. Okay, now he wants.
Good afternoon, everyone. Either Simon Chan or you, can you please outline the future plans of your organization in like 3 to 5 years? How will the community change? I mean, will it change for better? Will it change for worse?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. We currently are working on a 5-year strategic plan ending in 2026. So shortly, we will start redefining the next 5 years of strategic plans. I am always a very hopeful person, so I do see the future of the internet being very bright, but of course not without its risks. I mean, there are always ongoing geopolitical situations. I will not go into that because that's not my expertise, but I am very hopeful for the future. Pan, do you have anything to add to that?
Ну, я скажу по нашему.
Indeed. At least I can offer my perspective as to the internet development in this part of the world, in this region. Challenges and opportunities never end. And the costs are growing for overcoming challenges. I mean, and we need engagement of everyone into addressing and overcoming these challenges. Because I mean, you need to address challenges, or the challenges will start addressing you. I'm trying to be as polite as possible. In fact, that's some kind of universal truth. And unless you, I mean, start addressing politics and policies, I mean, unless you start engaging into discussion of the budget size or membership fees size, you will have to sit here and ask for preferences for small operators. I mean, you need to act proactively or stay behind. Like Simon mentioned a task force, but I'm not sure that anyone has ever applied to be a part of this task force from this part of the region. I don't think so. At least I don't think so. So, I now realize that we need to find new ways on how to reach out to members of the community and try to raise your awareness, try to educate on what are the benefits of the membership and what you get out of the membership. I mean, unless you demand that we do something for you, other members can demand and get or advocate for their own interests and their own projects. Because we are here to listen to you. We can't build policy, make policies. or make projects for you. We need your votes. And if you don't vote, somebody else does it. All right. Any further questions? I hope Simonian agrees or disagrees.
I definitely agree.
I understand that it may be not your expertise, but still, since we've already touched on these areas, what I know from my experience that if you haven't added ISET, you start getting letters. Now, what other tools are there to bring some?
The question is interesting. Yes, some notification or letters we received in the past, but what is now? What tools do you use?
I'm sorry.
Да, я, извините.
Okay. Yeah, I hope I'm going to answer your question correctly. We do have assisted registry checks executed by our registry department, who can help you make sure that everything is filled out correctly. One of our priorities is also to hire staff that represents our service region. Quite confident that we have a staff member that could help you in your own language.
I would like to add something and to share interesting story from my life. Two things very important. When you introduce your data, enter your data in system, very important that you add right data, because the person will verify, check mails you get from us. Very important when you buy the company, very important to enter your data. When our people, when my colleagues try to connect you with you, they can contact you, connect, because we can see there are many situations when we just go nowhere, not somewhere, but nowhere, because the companies, they wrote some general email and it goes nowhere. It is spam or something, goes to spam. It is the first what you have to do for your benefit to fill those data, actual data, which will work for you. And the second, I had story, one case when we ask a financial department to send us information about the members who didn't pay before before we switch all their resources, because in this region we know many people personally we can find, but we cannot call because the phone numbers are wrong, emails are wrong, and it is impossible to find these people. And once I received a list, somebody I found, somebody I didn't find, and through some contacts, I found somebody who is responsible for one of the companies. I made a phone call and I said that I am from RIPE NCC, you didn't pay for your resources, and soon your resources will be switched off. Can you pay for these resources? And had plenty of resources. And this person said, just hold on. RIPE NCC? I said, yes. And he asked me, I RIPE NCC. And they said, we will not use this site anymore. If you want, you can switch off. It is not a site. You have plenty of resources. He said, don't call us by this phone number. We don't want this resources, switch off. Sometimes we get IP4 addresses for those who stay in line. If you do not want that this IP4 addresses would not be yours, please put relevant information, because there are many things we wanted to contact you and wanted to discuss with you some problems. And please keep your actual relevant information contact, and let's ask Simon that they will provide the information that we can work appropriately in adequate way.
Yes, thank you, Fawn. Yeah, just to add on to that, I think, the data in the LER portal is essential for us to contact you, not only generally speaking, but more specifically for invoices and reminders, because we never want to close LERs, but sometimes due to lack of communication details, indeed, Vahan follows up with this region. And yeah, we want to do everything we can to make sure we don't have to close LERs. So keep your billing data up to date, please.
And Simon talk about billing data, but I talk about all data, because contacts are for billing, contact for email, for task force, working group, please do it and pay, like we say, pay taxes and sleep well. And this question and one more question. I'm also provider, and we are members of RIPE, RIPE from 1998. We have good contacts. I can who provided the main addresses, and it was also a problem when some entrepreneurs in the Western part world, they took our domains and registered for themselves. For example, they took our domain like Uzbekistan, private person from Germany, and he registered. And then we invited this German, and we told him, please give us this US. It is not yours. You cannot earn because it is in Uzbekistan. I even afraid how you ask him to give back. I'm like diplomat. I said, like diplomat, you have your business in Uzbekistan, you sell your cars for cabinet. If you want to have this business, give us domain. He said, I will sell domain. I said, no problem, but you have other business. Let's continue a bit. Do you want to work in Uzbekistan? So give us domain back. And now Usinfocom possesses this domain. It is an icon. As to RIPE, we also buy these IP addresses. We can say in a simple words, these IP addresses we disseminate to our customers. They use it. It is in simple way. And so it needs these iPad addresses, and they have to be compatible. And IPv6, maybe I didn't understand till the end. Now we have IPv4 in our company. We will use it further without switching to IPv6. And RIPE also have to think about it. I explained in a simple way your goal. We have questions, but I would like to respond to this analogy. It is a little bit in different way, because when we buy or sell bread, it is one thing. But when we talk, let's you sell bread by these conditions, terms and conditions, this price, and make a training how to sell bread to others. It is completely different. You dictate us the cost of this product. You dictate us how to sell it. And you dictate us even what to sell, what we have and what we do not have. But here, I agree partially. If you do not participate in this, it happens. You sold something and you sell also. I would like to support that MTP resources we get and we are looking for these empty resources of the smaller companies. I would like to come back to financial part. There are membership fee for PR resource payment. And what is PA resources? Do you plan or you already for each IP addresses, you will charge additional fee?
I'm just going to repeat so to ensure that I have the question correct. Is the question that why we do not charge for individual IP addresses? At this moment, all PA resources are part of the yearly membership service fee. All provider independent resources have a separate charge. In the approved charging scheme for 2025, that remains the same. There is that new ASN assignment fee. At this moment, there are no plans to change that, but of course, we do have the charging scheme task force 2025, and that will be one of the topics to be discussed. So it could be that a principle from that task force could affect future charges of provider independent resources.
Actually, I have a question to Simonian. So can you please tell how this task force is formed? Is it RIPE NCC people engaged there, or is it also from the community? Ну, вообще task force, он говорит, да?
Is it internal structure, the task force, or it is a community is also engaged somehow in this task force as the members?
The charging task force is intended 100% to have community input. Andre Philippe, who initiated this task force, specifically requested volunteers to volunteer for this charging task force. So yes, it's fully community driven. The board did select from the volunteers the actual task force members, and they really tried to get an as diverse as possible group to ensure that all the interests of the different regions are present in the task force. Of course, we do have three board members in that task force as well, and a few staff amongst myself and our chief legal officer and someone, Virgil, to help scribe and minute all the meetings. So it's mainly community driven. Yeah.
So то есть там, по сути, присутствуют члены сообщества, не только
Not only members of RIPE NCC and our board, but also members from the community. And we consider that the rate of interest of the volunteers and community to participate, that all regions are engaged. And if we make a comparison.
Can we provide the information of who is engaged in the task force? Can we provide the information who is engaged in the task force?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, that is publicly available data. Ulka, could I check with you? Ulka is just checking if she could share that. I do think the names are publicly shared.
Насколько я помню, там участвует один.
And I remember there's one person from Russia who criticized the existing charging scheme.
I guess we have one from Russia, right? Pavel?
Yeah, Pavel is in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Который довольно-таки активно критиковал.
He criticized and made suggestions for changes. Very interesting to know from other Central Asian countries, how many people are in the task force? Can you share a task force? How many people are from Central Asian region? Скорее всего,
We don't have any volunteer from Central Asia to the task force.
I don't think we have, no. I see Ulka shaking her head.
Просто тишина в зале указывает на то, что никто не
because it is
знает
silence
об этом,
in the
обо всем
room
происходящем.
shows
Вау.
that people do
Да.
not know what
Поэтому
happened,
надо
and
раскрыть
we have
тему.
to
наверное.
disclose this
Мой
topic.
друг, он
My
очень умный
friend is
человек.
very
Пожалуйста,
smart
поднимись,
person.
пожалуйста.
Please stand
Вот,
up.
знаете, вот,
За
Yes.
что ты?
признавайте одного из
He
самых
is the
умных людей
smartest person in
Центральной
Central
Азии.
Asia.
Пусть сидит.
Can I
Да,
sit?
да,
Yes,
можете
you can
садиться,
sit
пожалуйста.
down.
Да. И информация о том,
About
что
what
происходит,
happens,
мы ее
we
отправляем. Но
disseminate, but
куда мы
where
ее
we
отправляем,
disseminate,
товарищи, на эти
dear
ваши
colleagues, we
самые
send to
имейлы,
emails
которые не
which do not
существуют?
exist,
Или
but
существуют, но никто
exist,
их не
but no
читает.
one read.
Или существуют, но
Exist,
никто
but
их не
no one
читает, да.
reads them.
А что происходит тогда,
And what
когда
happens
между
when between
двумя
two
сущностями идет какой-то так
natures there is
непродуктивный
no
обмен, да?
productive
мыслями?
exchange of ideas?
Ты уже не
You do
слушаешь
not
этого
hear
человека,
this
ты не
person,
слышишь
you do not
его.
listen
И
to
в конце
him or
концов
her,
это
and
приводит
it
к
leads to
разрыву
gap of
отношений.
relations, break of
Вот девушки
relations.
уже активно
And you
обсуждают
also
этот момент.
started actively
Да.
discuss this moment.
Про что? Да, минуточку,
Yes,
дайте
microphone,
микрофон.
please. What you are discussing?
Мы
We
обсуждаем
discussed
тот
the
вопрос, когда
question when
закончится
IPv6
IPv6.
will be
Что вы
over,
потом
and what will be the
придумаете?
next, what you will design, what innovation will be after IPv6.
Tell us.
I'm not too technical, but if I had to guess, it would be IPv8. No, I'm sorry, I don't. I'm purely a financial guy, so I don't have too much knowledge about the next big thing. You would have to talk to my technical colleagues for that.
А вон там вопрос.
Simon Yan, I have one question. What opportunities for the discount or preferential treatment for RIP NCC members?
Just so I understand the question. The question is what opportunities there are for discounts.
Discount or preferential
or preferential treatment for members.
For members.
There are not a lot of opportunities because we do really try to treat each member equally. I do think also, you know, connecting back to the charging scheme discussion we just had shortly, we clearly still have work to do in doing more outreach to certain areas. So that can be seen as a little bit of a preferential treatment because, you know, we have to do our work in making sure we can reach out to each and every member of our community.
Do you have question or no question? I would like to add from myself. This is a question. I would like to welcome all of you. One of the needs to switch from IPv4 to IPv6, it is a shortage of IP addresses. From the open sources information, I learned that big organizations like Google, Amazon, in Pentagon, they get about 30% of all these IP addresses. And so the question arrives, does RIPE feel disseminate or distribute these IP addresses? And now I have an Armenian accent. Oh, so smart question. Who are you? I am representative of provider. We do not have addresses. Internet provider. Please introduce. Community should know. System administrator Yaroslav. System administrator Yaroslav. Yaroslav, dear ladies, please laugh and don't complain. So nice question. And how you explain what you will say?
With regards to how IPv addresses are spread amongst the members, it's very clear that the RIPE NCC does not define how that is done. We have an address policy working group. They are responsible for the policies around how IPv addresses are spread amongst the members or how you can apply for them. So, that's also an open forum. So I would, suggest to you to please take an active role there and express your opinions on IPv4 and IPv6 with the address policy working group.
Спасибо. Thank you.
Выпутался. Представляешь,
Simon has just emphasized that it's important to engage into policy development, if you like. I mean, if your wife made you a shopping list for groceries, husband will get the groceries right. But if there's no shopping list, no husband will get the groceries right. So it's only up to you. If you tell me, if you make up a shopping list for groceries, then we will do what you say, or I mean, what you write. I mean, we cannot guess what you have in your mind. So it's basically up to you to get engaged into policy development. It's up to you to start telling to committees, to Simon Yan as a financial director to start implementing policies. Not only him, but other people too. I mean, like myself and other staff. I mean, yeah, more questions? I have a question about IPv6. I understand you offer some capacity building on promote IPv6. But mainly use very gentle methods. And my question is, maybe it's time to start using gross or more brutal tools like a whip. And give incentives to those who move for IPv6. But I don't think it's a matter of finance, so it's probably a question to you, Van. I hope this will get translated into English because it's a policy that's called stick and carrot. I mean, is it time to switch from carrot to stick now in transition to IPv6? I mean, some of the best ways, in my view, is to give priority to operators. I mean, we still need IPv4 because it will take years to implement IPv6, but unless you start using stick, rather than carrot, this will take even longer.
I will agree with you that the adoption of IPv6 is we would like to see that be a lot faster and be a lot further than it is currently. But I just really have to repeat that how addresses are handed out and the policy on that is not defined by the RIPE NCC. It really is the address policy working group. I can bring back to the task force, the charging scheme task force, that this might be something that they could consider as a principle to somehow, stimulate LERs to adopt IPv6. But to be clear, I cannot promise anything because we would have to agree on that in the charging scheme task force, and we would have to talk to the address policy working group because they are the ones who really define how we hand out IPv6 and if there's a possibility to use the stick strategy.
Да, у Симоньяна довольно-таки такой политичный.
That was very diplomatic. But let me take a note of
No,
this.
the question
and,
is
push
that
it,
we already have some
with,
promotion for people that
our
are deploying IPv6
authorities.
faster. We have these t-shirts, we have this everything. Yeah. Can we put in the budget something else more promotional for these people? 1, 2 tickets more to RIPE meeting, something else.
This is a budget question. It's always good to ask the CFO. I'm not opposed to this. I'm going to have to talk to Hisham, who's responsible for external community engagement. So I do think he has a budget to help promote IPv6 and a good sum of money for that because it is important to us. But asking a CFO to increase the budget is always a difficult question.
Плюшки будут. Будут. Я с Хишамом поговорю.
All right, I will talk to him too.
Михаил Анисимов.
So, Mikhail?
And I do actually think Hisham brought some IPv6 to the conference. So
Thank you very much. I have a small comment on IPv addresses distribution. You need to know some facts from the history. Even before distribution of IPv addresses, this started even before ICANN and started before, long before. Distribution was done by universities first. So you need to ask the regional organizations, such as, for instance, IRIN in North America. And indeed, historically, it's just a legacy of the internet development history, and it's got nothing to do with the current policies at the moment. So it just dates back to some historic artifacts when policies was made by like a Department of Commerce of the United States. So when you raise equity or issues now, you need to remember history. I'm pretty sure that we must, or we can invite colleagues from other countries, like from Uzbekistan, who convinced his colleagues from Germany. Yes, I can tell you that at one of the meetings in Uzbekistan, one of the major national providers was running out of addresses. And so then a decision was made to take away all the addresses and start distributing them in the orderly way. But I explained to him that it was not the right. So please invite Mr. Akhudjanov to share his experience. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yeah, please share your thoughts too. Anyone? Or we can wrap up. And we may wrap up and take some rest before buses arrive for departure. Please raise your hand if you want to go. Please raise your hand if you don't want to go.
Все поедут на social dinner, да, никаких экскьюзов. На этом social dinner все будут вместе работать.
Could I just give Ulka
Да, еще Улька у нас, вот, давайте. У нее то ли вопрос, то ли информация.
Hi everyone, my name is Ulka. I work for the RIPE NCC in the communications team. It's my third CAPIF meeting and I still don't know Russian, so I apologize for that. I just checked with my colleague because we heard some feedback about the charging scheme task force, and we do not currently have anyone from the Central Asian countries on the task force. But we also didn't get any applications from anyone to join the task force. So this tells me that we have some work to do on our side to make sure that you get the messages. Please, I invite you to please subscribe to our mailing list. I know our emails come in English, but please, it's important for you to be aware of when you can participate and share your input with us. We also have the Telegram channel in which Vahan and Anastasia regularly share messages in Russian. So please do follow the CAPIF Telegram channel because we would love to see more participation. Thank you.
Ну вот, товарищи, смотрите.
All right, so clearly you can still apply for a task force.
Понятно. Если мужская половина сейчас не пойдете завтра заполните эту заявку на платформу, поедете.
I hope that all of you will send and file applications tomorrow. Let's say, yes, we will.
This is yes for task force.
applications? It is the task force
Not the
application.
application, but two task force.
Yes.
And also they will also interested to be there as well.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to say before we wrap up, one of my main reasons also to join the CAPIF or CAPIF event this time around is to hear from you. If there's any feedback I can bring back to the Charging Scheme Task Force 2024. So do feel free to approach me in the hall and we can have a chat and I'll do whatever I can to bring back any feedback you may have to the Charging Scheme Task Force.
Вот тоже вариант. Если у вас нет.
Yeah, sounds like a good option for those who are not in a position to apply for task force. You still have a chance to approach Simonian today or tomorrow. And share your views and he will communicate your message to the task force in the most professional way. I can assure you that's the main reason why he's here.
На сожалению, нет никакой Центральной Азии в этом платформе. Так, давайте же
So let's
придем к нему.
approach Simonian today or tomorrow and share your tips or proposals for the task force. All right? Yeah, I see one hand. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Under the law, any initiative, any legal initiative needs to be publicly discussed before being adopted by the government or by the parliament. And this public discussion must take at least a month or two. What I'm trying to say is that could you use a similar mechanism? That is, whenever a policy is made, if you can publish draft policy on the website so that people, members could view and then submit their proposals.
I'm happy to share that all our policies, especially community policies, are bottom up, meaning they are proposed by our membership. They are reviewed by our membership. There's I'm not sure how long the phase is, but there are multiple weeks to months for members to comment on them. We'll try and do what we can to process the comments. And in the end, as the RIPE NCC, we are administrator for the RIPE community. So the RIPE community proposes any proposal and we simply facilitate.
Recommendations. Share. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, so the plan currently is at RIPE 89, the next RIPE meeting. There will be a presentation from the charging scheme task force on the effort so far. I'm not too sure if they will already provide final principles. I think they'll present the results so far and also, ask for feedback from the community. So definitely the community will be involved in those principles and they will have ample opportunity to provide any feedback they feel they should share. And we always welcome that feedback and try to do what we can to process it.
It looks like we're getting late. So please take some rest and come back at 6:15. And be here tomorrow at 9.